Before a Sith strikes with a crimson blade, they endure betrayal, dark rituals, and ruthless ambition. From fallen Jedi to emperors who consumed worlds, each Sith holds secrets of power and survival. Ever wondered what truly separates a warlord from a dark emperor? Let us explore every Sith Lord and uncover the shadows that shaped the galaxy. Ancient Sith, the origins and early lords. The history of the Sith did not start with empires and legions. It started with a fallen Jedi named Ajunta Pall. A seeker of knowledge, Paul took things too far for the comfort of the Jedi, turning to terrible alchemy and experimentation on life itself. His thirst for knowledge descended into a thirst for control, and his as yet uncategorized dark side inclinations became solidified when he became a warlord. He was a mighty warrior and an insubordinate, vicious creature. With those initial elements of ambition, secrecy, and raw power, Paul launched what would become and be defined as the Sith Order. Then came Darth Andidu, a figure whose name still carries whispers of dread. Known as the immortal God King of Prakit, he inspired both loyalty and terror among those who served him. Legends claim that he discovered ways to stretch life beyond natural limits, and whether truth or myth, the belief in his immortality made his followers cling to him even after his death. The fear and fascination surrounding his name cemented him as one of the most enduring Sith of the ancient era. In the shadows of history also stood Darth Atreus, a Sith remembered not for words or empire, but for weapons that burned with his rage. His crossguard lightsabers were set to corrupt the hands that wielded them, spreading his fury long after he had passed. Through those cursed blades, his anger reached across generations, reminding all that the darkness of the Sith never fades. It lingers and waits. Old Republic era lords. The Old Republic era gave rise to some of the most infamous Sith lords in galactic history, beginning with Naga Sato. Brilliant yet ruthless, Sato became the architect of the Great Hyperspace War. Through manipulation and cunning, he pushed the Sith into open conflict with the Republic, nearly toppling it with his strategies and fleets. Although he was eventually defeated and forced into exile, his actions forever altered the bounds of power, proving how one ambitious leader could threaten the very core of galactic stability. From this age also emerged two Sith, who continued to capture the imagination of fans: Exar Kun and Darth Revan. Exar Kun was a gifted Jedi who embraced the dark side and became a terror to the Republic, wielding forbidden knowledge and a hunger for domination. His reign brought devastation, and even after death, his spirit haunted the galaxy. Darth Revan, meanwhile, lived a life filled with shifting allegiances, moving between Jedi and Sith, hero and tyrant. His mastery of both sides of the Force and his complex journey made him one of the most layered and iconic figures in Star Wars history. Yet perhaps the most chilling presence of the era was Lord Vitiate, also known as Tenebrae and later as Emperor Valkorion. Unlike others who sought conquest through armies alone, he pursued absolute power through unthinkable rituals. On the world of Nathema, he consumed all life to fuel his own immortality, forging the eternal Sith Empire in shadows. His reign stretched across centuries, making him one of the most terrifying Sith Lords ever to exist. The Rule of Two and Sith Reformation. When the Sith nearly destroyed themselves through endless civil wars, one man reshaped their destiny. Darth Bane, a survivor of the carnage, studied the flaws of constant infighting and envisioned a new order. He created the Rule of Two, declaring that only one master and one apprentice should exist at any time. The master would embody power, while the apprentice would embody ambition, ensuring the Sith would grow stronger in secret rather than collapse in chaos. This vision transformed the Sith from fractured warlords into a hidden order that moved carefully within the shadows of galactic history. Bane's legacy lived through his apprentice, Darth Zana, who mastered deception and sorcery to carry his teachings forward. After her came Darth Cognis, an assassin whose cunning allowed her to keep the lineage alive. The chain of masters and apprentices continued through the centuries, each learning in secret and waiting for their chance to rise. Among them was Darth Tenebrous, a manipulator of knowledge who sought to bend the future itself. His apprentice, Darth Plagueis, became infamous for his obsession with immortality and the manipulation of life. Plagueis would go on to mentor Darth Sidious, shaping the figure who would finally bring the Sith's hidden plan into devastating reality. Prequel and Clone Wars era lords. At the height of the Republic's golden age, Darth Sidious concealed his identity behind the mask of Senator Palpatine. Patient and calculating, he orchestrated a web of deception that stretched across decades. Through political manipulation, secret alliances, and the corruption of the Jedi's own guardianship, he dismantled the Republic piece by piece. When his plan reached its peak, he declared himself Emperor, transforming a democracy into the Galactic Empire. In Sidious, the Sith finally achieved their ultimate ambition: victory over the Jedi and complete control of the galaxy. Serving beneath him were apprentices and acolytes who carried out his vision with unrelenting force. Darth Maul embodied pure vengeance, a warrior shaped by rage and hatred, wielding his iconic double-bladed lightsaber with devastating precision. Count Dooku, known as Darth Tyrannus, represented ideology and manipulation, drawing entire systems into rebellion through his leadership of the Separatists. Asajj Ventress, once Dooku's assassin, personified the relentless struggle for power, navigating betrayal and survival in a world defined by shifting loyalties. Savage Opress, Maul's brutal brother, symbolized the raw strength and ferocity that Sidious and his order often unleashed. Together, these figures turned the Clone Wars into a crucible where the will of the Sith was tested and proven, setting the stage for their final triumph. Legacy and post-return figures. No figure in Sith history carries the weight of Darth Vader. Once the heroic Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, his fall to the dark side reshaped the fate of the galaxy. As apprentice to Darth Sidious, he became a terrifying enforcer whose power nearly rivaled his master. Yet, within the cold armor and mechanical breathing, traces of the man he once was remained. In his final act of redemption, Vader destroyed Sidious to save his son, bringing balance to the Force and proving that even the darkest Sith could never fully extinguish the light. After Vader's era, new shadows rose to continue the Sith legacy. Lumia, once an Imperial operative and later known as the Dark Lady of the Sith, trained Jacen Solo, the son of Han and Leia, guiding him into the dark side and transforming him into Darth Caedus. Though she did not formally revive the Rule of Two, her tutelage ensured the Sith teachings endured, shaping the next generation in secret and leaving a lingering influence on the galaxy. Later still, Darth Krayt challenged Sith tradition by abandoning the Rule of Two entirely. He established the Rule of One, insisting that all Sith serve a single Dark Lord rather than the traditional master-apprentice pair. His one Sith briefly dominated during the Legacy era, demonstrating that even after defeat, the Sith adapt, evolve, and always return in new, dangerous forms. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this kind of content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 91% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So, have you subscribed already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now let's get back to the video. Modern era and emerging Sith. In the newest chapters of Star Wars, the Sith mythos continues to expand, introducing fresh faces while revisiting legendary figures. Among them is the enigmatic stranger from the Acolyte, part of the official canon. Though little is known of his origins, his mastery of combat and skill in deception mark him as a formidable presence. Even in anonymity, he embodies the enduring power of the Sith within canon, a reminder that the dark side always finds new vessels. Alongside him, recent novels and reference materials have reintroduced or expanded upon figures such as Andiru, Revan, Tanis, Phobos, and Decius, all considered part of the legend's continuity. Each comes from a unique background, yet together they broaden the understanding of Sith history and reveal the diversity of their philosophies. Through these new explorations, the Sith remain a living legend, adapting with each generation and demonstrating that their shadow continues to stretch across the galaxy's future. Fan favorites and power rankings. Among all Sith Lords, very few capture the imagination of fans like Darth Nihilus, remembered as the Lord of Hunger. His very presence drained life, and his hunger grew so vast that he consumed entire planets. This terrifying power has secured him a place in countless fan discussions, where he is often ranked among the most fearsome Sith in all of Star Wars lore. His legend endures not only for his abilities, but also for the haunting symbolism of being defined by endless hunger. Beyond Nihilus, the community often celebrates other iconic figures such as Revan, Kreia, Darth Sion, and Vitiate. Each embodies a unique dimension of the dark side, whether through philosophy, tragedy, or sheer might. Together, these characters represent the depth of Sith storytelling, showing why the Order continues to fascinate audiences across generations. Every Sith Lord tells a story beyond power or fear. Their rise reflects ambition, cunning, and the relentless pursuit of dominance. From the first fallen Jedi to emperors who reshaped entire galaxies, each figure left a shadow that echoes through history. Every master taught, every apprentice schemed, and every rule carried lessons in survival, strength, and the cost of desire. If this journey through the dark side helped you see the Sith in a new light or sparked a deeper curiosity about their legacy, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow seeker of Star Wars knowledge. Let the shadows of the Force inspire your next exploration into the galaxy's deepest mysteries.